Hey everybody, welcome back to the Full Circle Network. I'm editor-in-chief of FullCircleCinema.com, Jackson Hayes, and I'm joined by my managing editor, Marcos Melendez.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're back this week with another episode of Swamp Thing.
We're
We'll
here to
be
review
talking
another episode of
spoilers.
something. Spoiler review for episode 6, The Price You Pay. So we're uploading this Friday?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully Friday, maybe Saturday. It's a holiday. Don't, blame us. The fireworks going off outside my house right now. It's 4th of July. We're taking time out of our holiday to bring you this, so be grateful.
Wow.
Yeah, episode 6, The Price You Pay. Not the most monumental episode, I'd say. A few things happened, and then we just kind of got out of there. It was a quick 40 minutes. So, Marcos, let's get your quick thoughts, and then we'll dive into spoilers.
Yeah, as you said, it's kind of like a smaller episode. This is the most in between of in between episodes where it kind of sets up other things, and it also doesn't do much of it on its own. It was pretty good. It was just some weird moments that we'll probably talk about in a little bit. But overall, it's okay. It's good. It's serviceable. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If you want to dive into spoilers.
There were definitely some weird moments, and I think if any of you have listened to this show podcast review before, you'll know who they came from, and you'll know why we'll dislike them as much as we do, or at least me. So I guess let's start with how the episode kicked off, which was, some two Louisianan drifters were sent into the woods, and they were going to hunt down Swamp Thing. Every week, two of these drifters end up in the woods somehow, and somehow die or almost die, or. So they start shooting at Swamp Thing, and then, of course, he retaliates, and he sends some tree spikes into their face and legs, and it was pretty gruesome. And then, for some reason, he felt bad about it. Like, Alec felt real bad about what he did. And then, Abby was like, well, he wouldn't do this. Why would he do this? That's not him. I was kind of confused, Marcos, about what they were going with there. Like, obviously, he was in the right to do that. They were shooting at him.
I think I assume they're kind of teased that maybe he's like becoming a monster, but
That's not what happened.
I don't have that.
That's not what happened at all. That's not what happened. He was defending himself.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, at least they weren't trying to kill him; they're just trying to tranquilize him.
No, that dude started shooting him. He started shooting him.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
And that's why he got so pissed off. I mean, they put him in a bear trap and then started shooting him.
Yeah, it was a good scene though.
He didn't kill him. He just maimed his face a little bit.
I mean, yeah, like his face is messed up for life. Like that's lifelong thing.
Shoot at Swamp Thing. That other dude he ripped into 5 pieces. I'm just saying, you got a better end of the deal. So, yeah, I mean that was an interesting, from the get go. They set up last week that Woodrue had found out that it was a living creature, and he would, he realized that Swamp Thing actually existed, and he told Avery about it. And of course, here comes Avery, and Avery's got to do what he's got to do.
Everything has to do with Avery.
Everything has to do with Avery. Jesus, they're not like letting up on Avery. And then what else we got? We got Daniel Cassady after he was beaten by 2 more Louisiana goons last week. He's stuck in the hospital. He's basically brain dead, Abby tells us, until Woodrue comes in and gives him a weird. Did you notice how many shots of IV bags there were in this episode? There were like 5. It was like 5 or 6
they're making
specific
sure you
shots of IVs.
what IV bags are for.
Bro, like I was like, all right, dude, get your B-roll. I get it, but like, oh my god, like there were so many IV bags. But so he gives him this, his magical elixir stuff, and then, of course it backfires, and Daniel goes off the rails, and he's steaming, and he's getting the Blue Devil, and then, guess what? We almost get the Blue Devil. Remember that scene, Marcos?
Yep.
When Daniel's losing it in Woodrue's front yard, and guess what happens? And I have a new segment this week. Marcos didn't approve the name, but I chose it. We're going to call it Avery's Annoying Act of the Week, or AAA. So every week, when Avery does something dumb, this is going to be where I come to talk about how dumb his decision was. And this week, we got a doozy, because as Daniel was going off, he was about to explode, he's about to go full Blue Devil, and they were teasing it, we were about to get it. A gun goes off, and I'm like, who shot the gun? Who's here? Is it one of the cops? Is it Abby? Who is it? Who do you think it is? It's flippin' Avery, and he ruined the moment, and we didn't get to see Blue Devil.
Yeah, it's a big Blue Devil balls moment for sure. I mean, it's just, I think the fact that it was Avery makes it worse. It was like anyone else.
It does.
You're kind of like, okay, they're saving the big reveal, which is still dumb anyways. But the fact that it's Avery, it's still Avery's fault. Like, it just makes you hate him. Like, I think at this point, he's not just a villain, but he's like a villain outside of the show.
Yeah, he is. He's ruining my experience watching the show. Like, not only is he ruining what's going on within the show as being a bad guy, he's ruining my viewing experience by, like, messing up these decisions. And it's annoying me. It's just annoying me every week. Every week we come back here. Last week it was turdy soup. And then this week it's shooting the gun for no reason. And I don't even know. And then the dementia storyline still didn't come up. And I'm just getting flustered, Marcos.
Yeah, I will say, right, I'm going to go a little off from... I'm going to, back off of Avery just for a second. I don't think he was even that bad in this episode. Of course, that one
I don't
movie
think the acting
sucked.
was that. The acting wasn't that bad. No, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't as bad as he was last week.
But I think the guy who takes the cake, in my opinion, is the guy who plays Matt, the sheriff's son. Wow, he might have been the worst actor this episode. I don't know. Like, he had a really big role. We get some reveals with him. Like, apparently, he's the one that shot Swamp Thing at that very night because Avery sent him to do it.
Yeah, he admitted to it basically. Like, at first he said, I didn't do it. And then he was like, well, what do we do, Mom? I did it.
yeah.
Like, oh, okay,
I did it.
gotcha. You did do it. Okay, makes sense.
But then, it doesn't have any emotion.
Well, because we find out, because in that moment, we find out that he's done that. And then we're like, oh, man, why would he do it? Money? What is he doing it for? What is he a bad guy? And then it turns out that he's doing it for his mom because his mom... on top of sleeping with Avery, apparently Avery's been paying her off and like doing things like there were bodies dropped that she's like forgotten about. Like we were like, where did this come from?
Yeah, they kind of just threw that in. And it's like, oh, she's also
like we knew she was shady, but we were like, oh, she loves her son. She wants to take care of her son, and she has a thing for Avery. No big deal. This is a whole nother level of shady.
Yeah, it kind of like, and it's also a very long scene that's pretty awkward.
Yeah, it went on for like 5 minutes, and then it's broken up by that random cop who enters to tell them about a phone
that
call.
Guy got paid good that day.
He was like, "What?" He
was
so
the
confused.
best actor on that set.
He was so confused. I just like that went all over the place. Like I guess they're doing it for each other.
I felt like you could have removed this episode.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
Marcos,
but it has important moments.
They're both the police. Why couldn't they can take him down? They're the police.
Yeah, maybe they have, well, I assume Avery maybe that's why they did it. It's like Avery has dirt on them, which is why they won't do anything.
I'm confused. I thought Avery was poor. There was a whole episode about how poor he was.
Nah, bro, he killed
but he keeps hiring. But he keeps hiring. But that doesn't mean that guy's not giving him any more loans, though.
But like Maria's hospitalized. He's got the credit cards.
But again, I thought he was being frozen out. I'm confused about where all the funds are coming from because he's paying people, all these people, like paying off people, paying other people.
I think he just goes to like a bank and he just asks for the money. Everyone just gives it to him.
I mean, I guess, but then he murdered the guy that was giving him the money. So I'm all over the place with the character, man. I'm just confused. I'm very confused.
Okay, but overall, in terms of like the directing, the writing, blah blah blah. It's pretty good. It's fine. Like we get the little action scene in the beginning. The writing was okay.
It was fine. I mean, it was kind of what surprises me is that they cut 3 episodes and somehow this episode feels completely useless and could have completely done without.
You could have cut half of this and put it with another episode.
Absolutely. You could have just made 3 episodes 10 minutes longer and just cut this episode.
Yeah.
So like I'm just like I don't know.
It feels like this one is meant to be like the in-between stuff because we've heard like the episode 7, 8, 9, 10, or whatever, the final ones are like the big ones. So I hope that's actually true.
I mean, one other thing that was revealed, I guess that was probably the most interesting part of the episode, was the fact that the Phantom Stranger was the one who made the deal with Daniel to keep him in Marais.
Yes.
Which expands his character a little bit and makes us, I guess, understand that he's some sort of overall protector of this town, of this land, of the swamp, I guess. And Daniel's needed for a bigger purpose. But what confused me was that he's been stuck here for like 8 years. Is that what he said? Like he's been here for 8 years?
I think so.
Something like that. And if that's the case, that guy sent him like when Abby was like in college. Like she was like getting her medical degree, like in the middle and like very early on, about to get her medical degree. And then like he makes him wait that long? That's a long time. Like she barely left the town a few years ago.
You know what? That's true. But we're also we're missing a very important part of the episode. We haven't mentioned. It's the very last scene.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get there, but yeah, I mean. Also, what have I've been saying this for a long time. You and Jacob, fought against me. The fact that it's revealed that I guess using some sort of what do you call that? Like a pollen or like a.
You know what? You know that the scene happened. I thought it was something else that he was looking at. And it was growing. I'm like, whoa.
No, but so I guess it's like a pollen that allows Abby or himself. Does he turn into Alec, or can she just see him as Alec?
Maybe he sees him as Alec.
I think that's what it is. I think it's some sort of like, mystic.
Yeah.
Like
that'd be weird. Maybe they're like,
know.
yeah, it's
I don't
weird.
know. I don't know.
Maybe like everyone else sees him as Swamp Thing, and they're like kissing. Like, wait.
This whole I think that's what that's how I was gonna. I thought she was gonna kiss him in that scene for a second. I was like, are you actually gonna kiss him right now? Like he's still like. But
yeah, that was weird.
It was weird. I mean, this whole episode was just kind of, what is that? What we're doing? All right, move along.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's get to the next one.
Right, every scene we got to, I was like, okay, gotcha, understand what's happening. Let's move on. And then they just kind of stuck around, and then I was like, all right, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. Yeah, I mean, I honestly can't. There's not a lot to say, not a lot to go on this week. Not my favorite, but not the worst. It's about as far as I'll go.
There's no big Swamp Thing news either.
No, so we don't have like an extra 10 minutes to fill that we usually do, because for once in a few weeks, there wasn't some big major, story about the character. So, I mean, you can take that as a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, because we don't have anything to talk about, but at least there's nothing new to piss people off.
Yeah, this just show itself.
I mean, yeah, this week it's not great,
This is not great. Okay. Wait, oh, you know what? I'm going to mention this. Madame Xanadu, what did they set up with her character?
Was she talking about something with the Phantom Stranger in that scene?
I'm not sure. No, she kind of like... I feel like they're setting something up with her and Blue Devil, I feel.
Like a romance thing?
Perhaps.
Oh, I didn't get that vibe, but maybe they are. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I was probably half paying attention, but...
It's a swamp. I don't know. He's been there for, what, 8 years?
The swamp. Anything goes in the swamp.
Yeah,
what happens in Marais stays in Marais.
It's wild.
I mean, it's not really that wild. It's really wild at all.
That's fine. The next episode is going to have, Abby and a Swamp Thing bang, so it's all good.
No, I know, but he's going to look like Alec, so it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
You guys won't be creeped out because he looks like Alec.
Yeah, all the trees are going to be like, wait.
Like, hold on. That's not how this works. Yo, chill. Phantom Stranger's going to be like, yo, we can see all of this.
Like, bro.
We're like, we're magically connected.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can wrap it up short this week. I mean, we usually go a little bit longer, but, not really much to go on this week.
Yeah, once, the show gets better, and then the show eventually ends, and we're all sad, then that's when we'll have, a long episode.
I guess, yeah, the last episode will probably be the best one they've ever done. It'll be super long, and we'll have so much to talk about, and then it'll end up meaning nothing because the show's canceled anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, where can the people find you on the social media, Marcos?
You can find me at BizGamerNow on Twitter, and that's pretty much it.
You can find me at JacksonHayes67. You can follow the page at Full Circle Cine, and you can, like and subscribe to this channel, turn notifications on, do all those things, and I guess we'll catch you next week with our review of episode 7.
Yep, and please subscribe. We need them. We need subscribers. Please.
Don't sound desperate, all right? It's not going to help our case.
I'm just begging.
Okay. We'll catch you guys next week.
See ya.